Ladies and gents, welcome back to another broadcast of The Weekly with me, Neff. Please subscribe to the channel, share this video with a couple of family members, friends, and colleagues. I appreciate the support. Got news regarding Predator Badlands that releases this week. Got my ticket. I'll be watching it on Friday, and I'll have my review up more than likely Saturday afternoon, so be looking out for that. Predator Badlands set to become franchise's biggest box office hit following positive first reactions. Let's read into it. The first Predator Badlands reactions found their way online a few days ago, and while not everyone loved the shift to a PG-13 rating, the movie still has all of the makings of a fun action adventure. And I have to admit, when I heard that PG-13 rating, I didn't care for it much. This is actually the first Predator that is going to be PG-13. Now, I've heard theories as to why it's PG-13, and maybe we'll speak on that a little later, more specifically in my review. Between Prey, the animated Predator, Killer of Killers, and now this, it's clear that filmmaker Dan Trachtenberg is looking to explore vastly different sides of this long-running sci-fi series. Today, we have an update on Predator Badlands' long-term box office prospects. Prey and Predator Killer of Killers were released directly on streaming, Hulu. This will be the first Predator movie in theaters since 2018's The Predator. Right now, current projections point to the movie earning $99.1 million at the domestic box office and over $154 million internationally. That would give it a final global cum of over $253.9 million. And while there's a lot of guesswork and estimates like these, this figure would make Predator Badlands the franchise's highest grossing movie to date, which I thought was pretty surprising. Currently, that 2018 Predator film is the highest grossing, not based off ROI, but money made. I think that made over $160 million. Predators, one of my favorite in the franchise, came out in 2010, I believe. That made over $127 million. That was a 3x at the box office. And obviously, the original Predator, I believe, had a budget of about $18 million and made over $98 million. But impressive if this film can make that much money in this era, especially for a franchise that's been around for over 20, 30 years. Very impressive that this film could be the one that makes the most money in totality regarding this franchise. Now, that PG-13 rating may help that, obviously, with scope, getting people of all ages, all demographics to watch the film. And I've heard really the theory behind it is that because the blood is not red, yes, there's violence, but because there's no red blood, they can get away with that PG-13 rating. This is the first in the franchise, like I said, that is rated PG-13. So it's going to be a little different. Now, as far as the sales for this film, the $253 million that they think it will make in its theatrical run, not a bad number whatsoever. Like we said, it could be the highest grossing Predator movie ever. And I've been looking at some theaters that I'm around close to, the theater that I'm going to in particular, and there's not a lot of buying of tickets just yet. I'm going to be checking this week and checking in with you guys to let you know what things are looking like. And I have checked a theater that's more central in town of where I'm at, and there is a lot more traffic there. There are people buying tickets. So we'll see if that picks up. Obviously, walk-up business is going to be a thing too, so very interesting overall. Let's finish up. And that would be quite an achievement, even if it signals to Disney-owned 20th Century Studios that a shift from rated R to PG-13 Predator stories are the way to go. Moving forward, Trachtenberg will hopefully find a balance, which means the rating is dependent on the story being told and not the other way around. The trade should chime in soon with opening weekend estimates, so we may get a better idea then of how accurate these figures may be. Here's a reminder of how the Predator franchise has previously fared, and we'll look through some of these numbers. So Predator 1989, $98 million. Predator 2, 1990, $54 million. Predator vs. Alien, not really canon, but we'll just count it anyway. But I'm not really counting it when it comes to the Predator franchise itself. I just want to talk about the main storyline, right? But Predator vs. Alien, or Alien vs. Predator, whatever way you want to say it, made $72.5 million. Alien vs. Predator Requiem, $128 million. Predators 2010, I talked about $127 million, and the Predator from 2018, $159.5 million. Despite its continued popularity with the fans, the Predator franchise has never really been a huge moneymaker. Disney has spent the past few years attempting to resurrect and redeem both this property and Alien, with the latter finding greater success with Alien Romulus and FX's Alien Earth, which I was not a fan of. Didn't really talk about that show much, but I was not a fan of it whatsoever. I may talk about it a little later, maybe in December, but we'll get there. And with that being said, ladies and gents, Predator Badlands opens this weekend. Tame expectations for this film. Was moderately excited for it. I do think they've over-marketed this film. I think they've shown a lot in the trailers. I've only actually seen one trailer for this, but they've definitely beefed up the marketing for this film. And I think, if it makes the most money out of any Predator film, then that's a good thing. I guess it doesn't matter. But for the viewer, if you've watched all this content regarding Predator Badlands, they've shown quite a bit. I've heard maybe there's a couple things that we don't know about, which is fine and that's cool, but I feel like the less you show, the better. Trailers have done this for a long time now, and I just feel like this film maybe could have benefited from pulling back a little bit because people do know what the Predator franchise is. But if you want to say, hey, did they do a good job of marketing? I think they did do a good job of marketing. I just think they marketed a little too much for this film, but we shall see what happens in the future as far as the performance of this film. Obviously, we'll talk about the film's quality itself, so come back and listen to that. That's going to be this weekend, ladies and gents. I'll be talking more about Predator Badlands for quite a bit, so please chime in down in the comments what you think about this film. Are you going to be watching this film? Obviously, comment, like, share, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and be safe. It's Neff signing off.